My wife was deleted in a tragic accident, then I found out she was cheating. 2 months ago my wife of 10 years, I'm 35, she was 34, tragically passed away in a car accident, hit by a silly driver in broad daylight. I cried non-stop for 3 days. We were planning on having kids and I had started a good paying job a year earlier and we just purchased our first home just 2 months before her peaceful deletion. I just couldn't and still can't believe she is really gone from my life. It's like just yesterday everything was heading in the right direction and would soon raise a family. She seemed happy in our marriage and stated how proud of me she was. The following week after the accident I received her phone, which was locked. After a week I found out how to unlock it by an obvious code I didn't think of earlier. I simply just wanted it to keep photos in her memory, photos of us and so forth. But I saw some odd things in her photos. Included photos of her in someone else's house, a house which I had never seen before, taking provocative images. I continued scrolling down and seen the most heart-wrenching thing I ever seen. Which was her with another man. It was nothing romantic but they were in a place that was obviously his. And just how close they were I just knew that this was an affair. The guy who wife had an affair with, showed up at her funeral. I felt like I got stabbed in the gut when I realized I seen him there. I began reading her texts and first I found out that she was on her way back, from his place. 3 hours before the accident she texted him saying I'm on my way. I knew that meant he was the last one to see my wife. Not only see her but having an intimate moment with her, also she would still be here right now if she wasn't seeing him. I feel like I'm going through a peaceful deletion of a loved one and a breakup at the same time. She did this behind my back and will never know that I found out. In a way I feel she got to escape the heartbreak she put me through, although I fully understand peaceful deletion is much worse and even knowing everything I know, I would never ever wish this or any pain upon her. I found out not only through her texts but her Facebook messages. Something that absolutely enrages me is that she told her closest friend that this guy from work wanted to take her out to dinner. Her friend encouraged her to go out with him. It enrages me cause I knew her as well and in person she was always very nice. But my wife was asking her to get confirmation. Had she said no, you are married, do not go out with him, I honestly feel like she wouldn't have done it. But her best friend was like, oh, is he hot? Oh, do it. Go have fun. It's just ducking and raging. This happened 6 months ago when she asked her friend about it. A few days later she talked to her friend about how after dinner she went to his place and had romance multiple times. When I read that I honestly got physically sick. I honestly started going through a breakdown, vomiting in the toilet then crying on the bathroom floor. I just can't imagine that this stuff actually happened, but it did. How could she do this? But as the days passed and the initial shock began to slow down, I started piecing things together. The funeral I noticed something a little unusual, which was this best friend of hers, talking to one of her co-workers. This was a friend from high school and there was no reason she should have known any of her co-workers. But she was in fact talking to her co-worker who she had the affair with. Then she came and talked to me, gave me a hug. The guy who my wife was having an affair with, came and shook my hand. Something about that just makes me feel sick. Like I was being humiliated in a moment of grief. There was him and her best friend who knew about her affair. I couldn't help but wonder, did her co-workers also know? It's been a month and I feel no closer to breaking away from the heartbreak. I miss her, I want her to be alive. If she was, I would probably even want to fix our marriage. But she's not here anymore. I still couldn't bring myself to read all of her texts messages with him. There is hundreds and some are romantically explicit. My blood boils and my heart aches when I open their texts and I get hit with anxiety and an adrenaline rush, palms get sweaty and hands shake. But I feel it's important I knew everything. It just breaks my heart this guy did things with my wife she wouldn't do for me. The thing that blows my mind the most is that there were no warning signs at all, not ducking one. Our marriage was good, she never did anything suspicious, our romance life went on as normal. Just zero warning signs about it other than the fact she started wearing a little more makeup than usual. Then I blamed myself for not catching on. Maybe this all could have been prevented, maybe I should have done this or that. I am broken and don't see myself ever being happy again. Edit. Thanks everyone for all the support. I honestly didn't expect so much response. Everyone who wished me well, thank you, and know that your kind words give me strength. I have got a response back from her friend, stating that she is deeply sorry for encouraging the behavior and not taking my feelings into account. She never wanted me hurt and yada yada. Honestly, I don't feel any relief from her apologies. About the phone, I cannot bring myself to destroy all the truth. I feel like I must read through the entirety of my wife's texts with this man, or I will forever go crazy wondering what did and didn't occur, how often, and maybe get some answers on if they were lovers, was it just lust/romance, or what did she plan on doing? Obviously in this state of trauma I cannot emotionally handle reading their conversations, but I decided to keep the phone, to read it all and then toss it and move on. Also, for people telling me to piss on her grave, or saying this is karma, please drop it and don't comment. I loved her for over a decade and it's not going away like that. I still love this woman even with the disgusting things she has done. She was still my wife, a daughter and an aunt. She didn't deserve to get hit by some silly driver and suffer with red water leaking from her brain that ultimately caused her peaceful deletion. Please go away, I do not need this, and I am not a sick-minded enough man to have those thoughts. For everyone else, thank you so much.
Hey guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out, thanks.
My God, I'm so incredibly sorry for you that I have no words. I can't even begin to imagine what you're going through. That's a lot of conflicting emotion. I know this is the standard Reddit response, but I very highly recommend seeking out therapy. You need support in this. I'm so sorry for your loss. My wife was peacefully deleted in 2005. As I went through her personal belongings, I found letters, pictures, and cards from 2 men that she had known, and other things that showed that she was having an affair with both men. I know how you feel. My 29F best friend, 29F, of 15 years, keeps cheating on her partner, breaks up, then gets with her affair for a few years, then cheats, breaks up. Hey everyone, too long, didn't read at the end. I feel like I'm going to slap her in the face some of these days. Here's my best friend's dating history. Age 17, dated A for 3 months. He broke up with her. Age 17, dated B for about 1.5 years. Broke up with him because he didn't ever want to do anything, had really low self-esteem. Age 21, dated C, whom she met and hung out with / emotionally got close with while with B. He turned out to be harmful, also physically. He wanted to go out and do things less and less. Dated him for 4 years. Age 25, met D, who she'd go out dancing and doing free time stuff regularly. Got close to him while still with C, lined out how a relationship would work out while still with C, including making lists of what she liked about him, what she didn't, what their expectations from life were. They are technically still together. They moved in after the first half year because his rental contract in a shared flat was up. He got sick half a year later, some sort of vertigo. She supported him for the past 2 years, but he wasn't able to go out and do things together with her. Apparently, however, it is entirely possible to sit in front of 3 computer screens all day, playing video games and watching soccer at the same time. She paid 2/3 of the rent. He doesn't have a job and doesn't want to go to an actual stay at a clinic. Age 28, met E, who she used as a substitute to do free time stuff with. He started getting attached, her too, set an ultimatum of that he couldn't deal with just being friends. She ditched him, they're amicable now. Age 29, met F, who she used as a substitute to do free time stuff with after E. He's her direct neighbor. She hung out with him almost on a daily basis. In the past months, they have hashed out what a relationship between them would look like. She cheated on D with him, but this time at least told D. D forgave her. They wanted to try to get closer again as a couple, but she is now set on getting together with F soon officially, and breaking up with D. It's so messed up. I only learned yesterday that apparently, she had been talking about a relationship with F for months at this point. She suffers greatly and is in a really bad place, but doesn't want to hear that A, she is repeating patterns, B, she is settling yet again for someone she won't be happy with. She has a high romance drive. F thought of himself as an asexual when they met. No assures her that he isn't and would be able to actually click with her on that level. Her standards for a partner has to be considerate, supportive, believe my feelings, not be harmful, respect me. Yeah. I tried to tell her that those aren't standards, but simply basic requirements not to be called a jerk, and she said another one of her close friends always says that, and yet she said, when you say that I am just settling for the next best option, that makes me really angry and doesn't want to hear it. I don't know what to tell her. I don't know how long I can watch her do this. Not just that it's unreasonable, it's also that she keeps cheating and securing her next relationship before breaking up, and I have a very strong opinion on cheating. I hated D from the start of them dating as he was being pushy and tricked her from the get-go, something she now starts to see, but at this point I just want to call him up and tell him to goddang leave my friend, because he doesn't deserve this. Nobody does. TL, didn't read, my friend keeps cheating on her 2 to 3 year relationship partners, then dumps them when she has the next guy locked in, who is the exact same type of person that she should know she gets bored of after 2 years. I feel like I'm a poopy friend for not being able to help her break out of this habit. What can I say to her? Is it okay to abandon her in a critical time like this and tell her that I can't support her in her dating decisions anymore? I would question whether I want to be associated with such people in the future. She seems to live on the excitement/adrenaline that new partners give her, and when the honeymoon phase is over, she emotionally detach herself/cheat and find herself a new partner while leading the current BF. Such behavior is pretty much ingrained after 10 years, and it will be difficult for her to have a stable relationship with one partner. She needs to seek individual counseling to work on improving herself and probably deal with past trauma.